inferior restraints. So relax, let me have you. I want to stabilize with all of these because we're really testing very specifically. We're going to test the superior glenohumeral ligament at 0 degrees. And what I'm doing is stabilizing the coracoid, and I'm doing a distraction force through the long axis of the humerus. Okay? And so I'm gliding inferiorly. That's at 45 degrees, we hit the anterior band of the inferior glenohumeral ligament. And so I'm stabilizing the same, and I'm distracting. At 90 degrees, that's when the posterior band of the inferior glenohumeral ligament is stressed. You can either let the body weight hold the person, or you can, and these are all in neutral internal external rotation, let body weight hold and then glide inferiorly. Here you're looking again for pain and laxity. So that's inferior. For anterior, they're pretty much the same ligaments, but now they're resisting anterior motion. So in this position also, and so you want to be in closed back position is always with external rotation. Come up very close to the joint line. Use, have the person in elbow flexion so that we decrease the neural tension on the system. At 0 degrees to 0 to 45 degrees, we're hitting the superior glenohumeral ligament and the middle glenohumeral ligament. So 0 to 45. When we go to 90 degrees, then again, we're hitting the anterior band of the inferior glenohumeral ligament. So same thing. I'm going to glide anteriorly, and I'm going to test the whole range into 90 degrees. I'm still going to be in external rotation. I'm still going from 0 to 90 degrees, but now I'm going to do a posterior glide. Looking for pain, laxity. Okay. Now we're going to look at the coracohumeral ligaments. Coracohumeral ligaments are resist flexion and extension of the shoulder. So for the posterior band, we're going to go into flexion. I'm using my stabilizing hand on the coracoid. I'm using this hand to manipulate the arm through the elbow. And so I stabilize, come into 90 degrees, and horizontal adduction, full external rotation, and then a posterior force. Any problem? Okay. That's the posterior band. For the anterior band of the coracohumeral ligament, we're now in extension. We're stabilizing coracoid. You're in extension. We're close 30 to 45 degrees of abduction and stabilizing and doing a distraction force through the line of the humerus. Long head biceps, lie on your side. Long head biceps in this direction is resisting, it's a superior restraint. So I'm going to stabilize coracoid, taking her into extension, and I'm going to put a stress in the line of the humerus superiorly, so the opposite of distraction. To test the transverse ligament, I'm going to have her on her back. And especially in this, make sure the shoulder's off the table so you can repeat the test when needed. I'm going to take her into shoulder flexion. I'm going to palpate the transverse ligament, which is at the superior portion of the intertubercular ridge. Shoulder flexion, hold there. Don't let me move you. If that was positive, it could be either the transverse ligament or the biceps long head. So if it's positive, we repeat it in extension and do exactly the same thing. Hold there. Don't let me move you. If it's positive, it's the long head of the biceps. If it's negative, we've reduced the stress on the transverse ligament by changing the angle of the long head of the biceps. Okay? Then all we have is our capsules. It's going pretty fast, right? So posterior capsule, we're in neutral, internal, external rotation. And we're going to do a superior force, middle force, and inferior force. Thinking of 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Okay, so bring her into horizontal adduction. Put a force through the elbow into superior, middle, inferior. For the anterior capsule, there's an inferior and a superior portion. And so what we're going to do is palpate at the anterior capsule area. We're looking for dips, blips, marbles. We want to see a smooth pursuit with this. So I'm going, for the superior portion, I'm going to be in 0 degrees and externally rotate and then abduct. For the inferior portion, we come into 90 degrees, neutral, internal, and external, and just come into horizontal abduction. Let me show you this direction. I want to be on the inside. This is easier. So come up into 90 and then horizontally abduct. Feels good. Okay, that's it. So now you guys do